How's it hanging, audience dudes? Well, this is our annual Bill and Ted's excellent Halloween adventure review that I know that some of you look forward to, including
the cast and possibly crew of Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween
Which
Adventure.
is just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So first of all, I am Dave.
And I am Brian.
And together we are...
Dave and Brian.
All right. So, first off, the character of Death is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna, I guess if you haven't seen it, this could get spoily, as it already did. Oops. Whoever they cast, I mean, it looks like he walked right out of the film.
Mm-hmm.
It's the look, the height, the voice, the character. I mean, bam.
Yeah.
It's I had to look up who Sean Spicer is, but then you told me who well, not as much as who he is, but where that whole thing came out with the podium and why that woman is being so nasty to all of us. It's because
it's Saturday Night Live skit, and a lot of them have been going viral lately, including these Sean Spicer segments, which are being portrayed by Melissa McCarthy, dressing as Sean Spicer, and just going like 110% with fielding questions at the White House, and Sean just going like ballistic on the press corps.
So now that's a woman impersonating a woman impersonating a man. Wow.
Yeah.
And of course, as always, the woman who plays this character always nails Melissa McCarthy. I wonder if they're the same person.
Who knows?
Have you ever seen them in the same room together? But always an awesome job. Didn't really hear her sing this year, but we know she can sing well.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Also, in the Betty White, who I guess is famous for being famous now, or well, famous for the Golden Girls, but
Yeah.
for being, for still being alive, I guess, and being a bit of a badass for her age.
Yeah.
The whole MegaCon thing went away, unfortunately, because of
the recent shootings in Vegas, which was at a festival in a hotel, and it strikes disturbingly close to home here in Orlando as what happened in 2016 at Pulse. So with respect to what happened out in Las Vegas, they've changed the Mega Virgin Bonnaroo Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah. Which, of course, the Food and Wine Festival is another jab at Disney. Because,
actually, I think Conchila Food and Wine Festival, one of those. Yeah, it's no longer a festival, and the plot is no longer killing the entire audience, but just Bill and Ted.
Yeah. And also, the fidget spinner, which I actually have over here, but I forgot it was on my list. For the cat, I bought one for the cast and crew video. And when I saw that, and then, of course, the bigger one came out, I was like, okay, by the end of the show, she's going to have one that's mounted with a harness, and, of course, that's what happens. Side note, the knockoff Kmart version of it, or GoBots, if you'd like, of the Bill and Ted show, which is unfortunately going to be their only Halloween show next year, which is Fiends over at Busch Gardens, also did a massive fidget spinner bit, which technically they could have lifted from Bill and Ted because their event starts later, but I think it just is coincidence.
Yeah, it's also a joke that makes sense, like what do you do with a fidget spinner to make it joke? You make it giant and barely able to be used.
So they kind of did that Power Rangers gag before, but it was with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle knockoff.
Mm-hmm.
But I went back. We actually recorded the whole review once already, and I wasn't too happy with how it came out. It being this is the last year, like we really gotta uh, up our efforts here. And now I feel badly because if we kept doing this every single year, by now we would have really had like something elaborate with because I'm now going to school again for a stage lighting class, and we might have been able to pull off something cool on their theater stage. Maybe I don't know, build a replica of the film booth or something like that. But unfortunately, unless some miracle happens, unless Steven Spielberg is a fan of the show, he's probably the only person who could say who could make it come back, as he's kept the ET ride around forever.
Mm-hmm.
So, Steven, if you're watching, you're not watching. So, you have anything else to add from your notes?
As always, I think the show's hilarious. Particular highlights of mine are the Moana song. I never saw Moana. I knew enough that it was the Moana song.
Yeah.
I love the lyrics, especially "Bell apartments right behind me." My first year was 2010, 20 Years of Fear, and for the warning, they said...
disclaimer video.
The disclaimer. They said, well, we got to keep it down. There's going to be apartments right behind here. Smooth move, Universal.
They're like, oh, come on. Obviously, that's not real. It's part of the comedy show, but no.
We both thought that, and yeah, there really are apartment buildings right behind that stage. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy where Rocket's saying, okay, this button will blow up everything right now, and this button will give you 5 minutes. Which button do you push?
Well, actually, it's one sets off the fireworks at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And one blows up everything. Which button do you press?
I am Ted.
No! Which button do you press?
I am Ted.
Why do you keep saying your name?
That's another highlight of mine. And, of course, I've always thought the Avatar guy running around, sex with their tails, and I always thought that was hilarious. It's been coming... Yeah. Sex with their tails! Sex with their tails!
I have to admit, I can't tell if it was the same actor who's done it before because it seems different, but maybe not.
I am glad that Pandora actually did open for Bill and Ted's final year.
Yeah. And boy, we don't give up because it's a small world blacklight edition, I've heard it called. The other ride I haven't gone to, but so we're not into dragons.
They're banshees. You have to say it properly, Dave.
Oh, I guess.
You have to give respect to the species.
I guess that makes me a douche canoe.
That is actually another highlight. It's I think a segment you like is I don't know if she's supposed to be like living on Pandora or just like a super fan of Pandora.
I think it's just like a super fanatic. A lot of people love Universal, but from my perspective, the really rabid, crazy fans seem to be the Disney fans. So, overall, it feels like the script is built for improv. So, by some miracle, I am planning, if I have a way to make it to the final show of the year. I put in a request for the day off. I've already kind of mentioned to my leads, because we're both working Horror Nights again. I'm an attendant again, and you...
I'm a scare actor. Great party, isn't it?
Unfortunately, you have less flexibility in that.
Yeah.
And the only way you can go is to call out, and that's not a good idea, especially to call out and then show up at Horror Nights.
Yeah, I'm not going to call out on November 4th. I'm going to go and... look, if I have to just sit outside and just listen to them from outside the venue, sure. I'm going to make it about the tail end of the show, but I'm probably just not going to see it live. I will have to live with that.
And then I like I said, I have a request in on Kronos. Hasn't been denied, hasn't been approved. Uh, Tomorrow I should find out. Um, Maybe I'll know by the time I post this if it's going to be denied. And then my leads could also give me an ER. I'm already kind of mentioning that I want to be on the list, so it's a little bit early. But when it comes around, like, well, remember I asked you first, so
My request was denied. That day just blacked out.
um, as an attendant, I'm a little more replaceable because anybody in our team can do any of the positions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the 2-hour-long Sob Fest because there won't be a dry eye in the theater on stage or off stage. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a joke, seal joke, where the guy was in the pool and was like, "Oh, look, it's a seal," and it's a guy. I guess it's supposed to be the singer Seal because I think they play a song from Seal, which is I like that. I thought that was a pretty fun.
Yeah.
And Justin Bieber is back. We always love seeing Justin Bieber, especially when he's played by a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is another time where I can't tell if it's the same woman. I want to say it isn't who played Justin before, but either way, hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't catch the whole why the DJ kept playing the wrong songs, or the reference of why he got the words to his song incorrect. We know we've been Nirvana fans, and when Kurt played his own songs, he didn't always remember the words.
But I mean, that's rock and roll. This is pop, and
I don't know if maybe he showed up like drunk to a show once, and it was like this mumbling whatever came to his mind.
If you know, just explain in the comments.
But even though we didn't get the reference, it was pretty fun. It was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, especially one of the Daft Punk guys being the DJ.
Yeah, that was unexpected. That was pretty cool. Again, the Guardians of the Galaxy joke. He had explained it to me because I didn't see the movie. But again, it's another thing that was pretty funny. Without and again, great job on the props.
Oh yeah.
And I am Ted. Even if you didn't see the second movie, you saw the first movie, you'd understand he was doing I Am Groot. Mm-hmm. More Disney songs, more Disney gags. Awesome job, whoever it was who sang this year, doing the song from Moana.
Yeah.
It's a hat, those are shoes. Yeah. That was funny. I'm really looking forward to. I really, really hope I can get to the final show because I'm thinking there's going to be a few more verses of that song, which I would love to hear.
And whoever is the water spirit doing the twirlies, you were awesome.
Got this guy wet.
It's it just makes the bit just that much better that there's like a water sprite just like twirling around behind her.
Yeah. I still got some more stuff on this list. I don't know, Brian. This video's kind of getting long.
Well, I like it long.
That's a dick joke. See, there's things like that we should have been putting in our videos all these years.
Yeah, but like it's a callback for Bill and Ted fans, which we are. And
I've watched the show twice, and I haven't heard "that's a dick joke" yet, because I know that's always one of those lines that gets repeated a lot. But the second time I heard "dick joke," which is didn't really do much with the phone booth again this year. It showed up in it. The one time the poster got in the way, and as always, great improv of, "Oh man, you broke it already." Fear Factor explosion. Now it's actually from two sides of the theater this year, I think. I'm going to jump ahead in a moment and say that Fear Factor stage, that whole thing, better be demolished before next year's Halloween Horror Nights, or we're going to have a lot of very angry people, including these two right here.
Yeah.
But that's not the reason for it.
Yeah.
But if they are getting rid of it, I kind of wish that they had their final show of Fear Factor to clear out the Fear Factor set. So the Bill and Ted show would have the whole stage. I mean, he's not going to find as much, but that'd be kind of cool to see just Bill and Ted on stage. But that's why I think the Fear Factor is going to come back for a little bit. And these two guys need to see it. We've never actually bothered to watch the show. Going back as far as when we used to come as guests just for Halloween Horror Nights. Now we live here. So
Yeah.
seen it. I love that the Bill and Ted impersonators get it all wrong. Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth.
We don't even say that.
Yeah.
And again, the Avatar guy. All year, I'm sure a lot of people, not just us, were wondering. All right, Pandora's open. But what are they going to do about that?
Yeah.
So the joke is always every single year is getting further and further away. So the result is
now open at a theme park near you, and we still don't go.
So. Also, Dr. Evil from 2006, another callback to a show we unfortunately didn't see in person. He was just taking a little cat nap, and he starts asking about attractions that were closed. Here's another thing where I'm assuming is going to be room for improv, because there's a lot of attractions that have been closed in 2006, and he could have gone through the whole list.
Including very recently Terminator 2 Battle Through Time.
Actually, it was Terminator 2 3D. Originally, Terminator 2 3D Battle Across Time. But the Battle Across Time at some point was dropped for some reason. I don't know why. But, yeah, there's Back to the Future, there's Disaster, there's
Beetlejuice.
And that's just on the studio side. Never mind over and like, and who's this Harry Potter? Because Harry Potter was around, but in 1996, is it 96? 2006.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think by now it's gotten a lot bigger than 2006. I never even heard of it, but I'm outside of the demographic. So. Interesting how the way of closing it out with Rufus sending a text saying that their annual adventures are interfering with them being the great ones. Damn it still sucks.
Yeah.
And a little stingy.
Yeah.
We used to live in Broward, if you guys remember, and we would drive up 230 miles just to go see the Halloween Horror Nights. One of the highlights has always been the Bill and Ted show.
Yeah.
And we would drive up and drive back in the same day just because we wanted to see it again.
But, we would make it a point to see everything. But, for return trips, we always went to Bill and Ted, and we went to our favorite houses and scare zones.
Yep. So, I guess in 2018, we're just going to all boycott Halloween Horror Nights until they bring it back, right?
Well, they wouldn't hype it up as the farewell tour unless they were sure. Absolutely sure.
Well, I would say if you do boycott Halloween Horror Nights next year, make sure to tell Universal why, because they won't just automatically connect it. But unfortunately, I can't imagine enough people will stay away from it to make it effective. But if it hurt Universal enough financially, maybe. But I don't see it happening. Maybe 200 people will not go, and Universal won't even notice the difference.
Yeah. I am thinking Academy of Villains is going to end up being the main show until we get a second show, whatever that may be.
I don't know where they put it. I mean, Terminator 2 is a lot smaller. The show would be okay without the pyro. I mean, it's a great addition, but I'd rather have a Bill and Ted without pyro instead of no Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a smaller theater, and they're in the middle of making it into unannounced project. Of course, the Beetlejuice stage would be way too small, but that's gone.
Yeah.
So
then we were talking among other fans about it could be horror and makeup is being a new venue for a show, but that's a smaller.
It's really small.
Yeah, that holds maybe 600.
I I would think it'd be even less than that, maybe 300.
Yeah.
But the only other option is an Islands of Adventure, and that really wouldn't work to get people all the way. People already whine about how long they have to walk.
And we know from going Unmasking the Horror that it's just too many contracts to do Horror Nights at Islands of Adventure.
Yeah. So, but the great thing about Bill and Ted, besides it being an amazing show, is of course it takes people out of the park, and it makes it so that you can actually walk through it.
Yeah.
Which is the main purpose of the show. Now, only Academy of Villains, that does a small area, so.
It also alleviates some of the lines.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It gets people in the theater to see a show, and then it's not as many people roaming around. Although, we said this in the cast and crew video, that we have met at least, we met at least one person who wasn't going to Horror Nights this year because Bill and Ted wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And if you are watching this from the cast or the crew, if you missed it, we made a video just for you guys this year. That's going to be posted about the same time as this. So if you aren't in the cast and crew, but you know people who are on the cast and crew, please share, because sharing
is universal.
It's caring, but it's also universal. So that's all my notes. Another great adventure, even though it ends in tears.
Mm-hmm. We're sad to see it go. Hopefully, whatever ends up replacing this will be just as awesome, and like maybe it'll even win us over. Who knows?
I don't know, but those are some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, and there's more than a few super fans who love Bill and Ted. I remember, I think it was 24 or 23 even, probably 23, where I was just walking by and I heard someone talk about, oh yeah, I go and see every other show.
And well, you wouldn't have a audience full of people quoting the lines the entire show if only some people are like,
yeah. But this is definitely the marquee show of Horror Nights, and it's only going away because it has to.
And now I don't know how I'm going to know what's going on in the world because, I had to learn about the Moana song. I had to learn about Let It Go through Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to know what the kids are listening to anymore as far as music.
Yeah.
So, so again, maybe we will have a boycott next year. So.
No, that would just suck.
Oh, so we wasted a guitar jump.
Yeah, we did. You see, that's you doing that. That's you, not them. You did that, and now it's their fault because of you.
Yes. Well, now you're using their words out of your mouth from them, describing me. It's your words out of his mouth. You made him say that. So.
Thank you, Melissa McCarthy, for doing that.
And the woman who brought it to Horror Nights.
Yes.
Who nailed it.
Yes.
Of course. And we would like to have heard you sing again this year. Maybe that's going to be the final show. Fingers crossed. Hint, hint. Also, I'm going to be at least one of the final shows coming up this weekend. Probably won't post it sometime. On the 21st. So that'd be cool. It'd be the final show of the day.
Yeah.
With a friend of mine because I'm being a breaker. So I think we're just padding time now.
Yeah. Well, just thank you for watching, and
I guess we don't want to end the video because we don't want to. This is our last chance to talk about it. So